So, good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 in New York, and it is 1:30 in Amsterdam. And this morning we talked about a big old watch list. I talked about a lot of things about how to trade, of course, and how to set your goals for a day. And it took me a little bit longer than maybe it should have, but I thought that it was important to really talk about that. So let's look at what's happening now on the watch list that we already discussed this morning. I didn't have a second look at it, so this is all new to me also. Relative new, of course, because I watched it at 10 o'clock and at 11 o'clock, and then I just went on to do different things as one does. And well, I'm just trying to see if something's did happen with these stocks here. So let's look at AMC. This is AMC now on a daily. So those levels that we drew there are just not in place. It's a price action play all the way. You cannot put any levels on this one other than this pre-market open and post-market close here. This is just a big jump here to 44 and a little bit, and now it's really at some ease, but you will never know on AMC what's happening. Still 1 hour and 30 minutes till markets open, so very curious to see what's going on with AMC. So no levels, just price action. This is one from this morning that somebody called in the chat, and I'm always glad if someone does that. So this is on HMBL, 148.11 is a level, and 177.84 is a level on this one. And SNDL trying to hold this $1 mark, and that's the only thing that's important for SNDL Sundial today. If it can hold at the $1, so this is a lot of resistance right now, but with no volume whatsoever. So you cannot say anything about that other than you really need to see this one above the dollar, and then it just can move like it did some months ago. And I was in this one, not for this whole ride, but if you see something like this happening to a stock, tries to get above this $1, then seems to give up, and then there we go again, trying to get above that. And this pattern that you see here is eerily similar to what's happening now. So always skip. I don't trade these small ones often, but if I can snatch one, then I'm convinced that it's a good one, then why not? So BB also, BlackBerry also in play today. Play this one on price action because this is a move that I don't understand, but well, who am I? They had earnings, I think, 2 days ago or something, but this is no play for a level or anything. Just play this one on price action if you want to play this. OEG also on price action. There are two levels here which may mean something. This is this 789 and this 853, but also here price action is the key for OEG. Then VT and R. So this morning, this is what's happening now. This morning, it just dipped this to under its 8. So now we have some, normally you would say, okay, this will be a short. If you see something like this on any time frame, then you just think, well, this is not going to end well for VT and R. But is it? Just went under this 8 that we drew this morning. So 8's not so much the level that we wanted. So 767 is now a level here. But since that moment, it really tried to creep up here above VWAP here in pre-market with some volume relative, and then now tries to get back to its VWAP. So VWAP play could also be nice for VTNR. Maybe there's more strength in this one than you would presume after seeing well, this of course. So this is what every stock, no, this is what a lot of stocks do. They get the jump in the morning. At 4 o'clock we are live with a lot of these stocks in the morning, and then just this happens. But let's just wait and see. So this is not a real trend line. This is just an indicator of what happens a lot of times in stocks that make these jumps in the morning. WPG, also this jump in the morning. Jump, no, well, jump, not a real jump, just getting up in the morning and tempering down, up and now. So this is really something. When you're trading this, when you want to day trade this, then this is just for 55.15. It's 50 cents moves here, but this is with no volume. This is normally also something that you would call choppy. So on WPG, this is the line of confidence that I drew if you want to go long, and I'm going to draw another one here for 47. This is support now for WPG. And this blue and white line also are always levels, resistance or support. Keep saying that, but you all know that by now. If this can be the move, then there's some money to be made on WPG. Let's look at NEO. Well, NEO is a difficult one, but can also be a very fine one on a day because, well, can move $2. This lila line here, lila, purple, whatever you want to call it, is this is just a bad print, I think. So let's see what happened here on this. Yeah, I don't think that you should call this a level. Just saying. So if NEO goes up, there are almost no boundaries for it here. So this one is at 43-ish, 43.31. So what I really want to see normally is it gets up a little bit more. So really down now. It just might get into this area of support, and then you just can play this one to the top or the moon, whatever you want. ASMC, there's no volume whatsoever in pre-market, but well, here this is what we looked at, and I just see these levels still in place. So 15, 15.30 and 15.51 for AMSC. SOS. I'm still going to say this 368, but also 342 and 380 are the main levels here on SOS, and then another big level here coming up is 414. So nothing changed there. Then CCL, well, what will happen to CCL if this one makes a low here and it drops under this, let's say 29 level or 30 level, then it just might be a short all the way to 29.14. It's just $1, so really tight because you have to get in also. So I'd rather play on a long side here. So let's say that this is normally a doji that you don't want to see if you want to play this on the long side, but we know that CCL can make some crazy moves on a day, and this doesn't have to mean, this does not mean that this one is not getting back to this 30.74 again. So it is a level, and it is a big level. That's why we put it here. If it gets above this 30.74, then you might see some big volume coming in. On CCL, bingo. Well, we saw this happening on bingo, so it's still called 641 as D level for everything in bingo on the long sides. Lizzie, we saw this one this morning also. Okay. Well, everybody knows what this is. Do you? Of course you do. So 650 is a long way from home, but just could do that. Use this as some kind of support. 50 is also at 640 here, so 650, 640 will be an area, and when it's an area, I'm making it. Where will my camera? I have a mobile camera now. It's just standing in front of my screen. It's stupid, of course, but well, you know me. So 655, 798 for Lizzie. We talked a lot about Zoom. Those levels did not change during the last hours. 326.13, 336.23, 342.14. FCell. 963, 1051, nothing changed on FCell. So those are the levels for FCell for me today. Nothing happened here either. PXS has to get above the $1. This is 94, but ja, dus normaal. Niet doen. Gaan we niet doen. Onzin. Sorry, I thought I was muted when I talked to the dog, but I wasn't, so she's a little nervous because it's hot here, I think. Let's play this one on price action. Cannot call any levels on this one, so this is let's for you. HPQ, you want to see this line holding right here. So this is a gap down, and well, if it just wants to pass this one here first and then just get up to the 9 EMA here on the daily, then it just might be something that you want to consider playing. No volume in these, so those lines are still what they should be, 28.63, 29.20. So this is no volume pre-market, but that doesn't mean that it won't go. And even on NXEA, no volume, so 502 and 485 are still the levels. And then the last one that we have here is L brands, 7110 and 7202. No volume in pre-market, so those are the stocks that I have for you, which were on my watch list this morning in the early bird show. If you want to see that and see how I talk about them, then please go back and look at that video. But this was just a quick update for all the levels that we have here, and high-speed tempo, because well, some people really love a high-speed tempo and don't want to hear me about all kinds of stuff that is not important to trading, but is just me talking. So this is what we also saw this morning, Mito. I told you this. So I told you this when it went to 256. I said, well, maybe if it's going to get above this 260 area, then you're in for the long. I didn't dare to play it in pre-market. There was decent amount of volume for pre-market. I think let me just check here on the 5 minutes. So I've always got this 5 minute and this 1 minute set up here. That's just enough when I'm in the trade itself. So this is just decent volume, over 100,000 on a $2 stock in a pre-market. So you could have traded this. So this is my setup when I'm in a trade, and this is my setup just watching for stocks at one time, and then having also all kinds of alarms going up. So here I'm going to set this alarm. This is an alarm setting now, and this SOS play is also still have an alarm. So I'm gonna put this one just before trading starts, just 15 minutes before trading starts. I'm just going to decide on what stocks I'm going to watch in the opening, and those are not the stocks that are not trading at all pre-market. So for example, what was it stock? This stock here, OE. No, just looking at volume. So LB is not something I'm going to look at. Market open, NXE also not. Over V I'm not going to look at. So those are the smaller. There's no volume whatsoever, so I don't think there will be any volume when markets open. And then so I select 4 stocks that I look at when markets open, and 4 to 10 other stocks which I have on alerts. So these alerts that I just showed you. So let's just see if there's something else happening now in pre-markets other than, oh yeah, we talked about MTO. I'm sorry, just switch back to that one. MTO. This is MTO. So you want to see the break here. If market is open, and I'm only small stocks like these. If this one goes down to 172, 9 out of 10 times they don't bounce, or they don't bounce very well. Other than big stocks, CCL and NEO, for example, if this was CCL and it would bounce here at 172, then you can easily play this one up to the 263 area that you have here. So mostly these are just plays just in the beginning of the opening. So you need a lot of volume. You have to look at your level 2. You have to look at your tape. I do. See if volume comes in. So it's super overextended, of course, but this 263 level is a level in more than one way. Not just this spike here in the pre-market, but also look at these spikes here. So I'm gonna really focus on 263. If nothing else happens during markets open. So I'm not afraid to trade these small ones also if there's enough volume and if there's enough confidence in the levels that I just showed you. Anything else going on? BlackBerry still trying to get above VWAP here. So had this nice move up from here $13 to $14.10, but not holding this. So this could be a VWAP play on a short side. You can also do the VWAP play on the short side, and what you do then is that you do everybody can look this up on any, if you Google it. So this is the VWAP player. Let's assume that this will be VWAP during market open. It's just doing that. I'm like a voodoo master here. So this is just getting up to VWAP. And what you often see is that it just gets over it. So people are tricked into this one, and then I'm going to get in because it's above VWAP, and then they go in hoping that it will go further. But 9 out of 10 times VWAP is just very strong level of resistance or of support. And if it doesn't get there, then you really want to see confirmation that it does not get there. And the confirmation can be that it's going to make a new lower low here, and then you can play this one to the downside if you are that kind of player. I do sometimes, but not often, VWAP play, short VWAP play. I do not feel comfortable doing that, but VWAP play to the long side, I'm better. So if this one gets up here above VWAP now, with some nice candles, and then you just can say, okay, and then it comes back to VWAP, and it bounces here. And then the next one, the next move up is that you want this low has to be higher than this low. This even better. And then you get in here when it's making a new high on this minute candle. Then if you just get in here and then set your stop right under VWAP, then you have a safe play. More or less. Nothing is safe, of course. So, people, is there anybody who wants to discuss a ticker, or are you all satisfied with what I'm doing right now? Because we talked about a lot of tickers. It's almost 2 o'clock, so there's 1.5 hours remaining to the bell. If there are no questions about tickers, then I all wish you a very happy trading day today. Trade safe. Use this video for information purposes only. It's not an advice on trading. It's not an advice on investing. Be sure that you trade according to your own strategy and do not follow me or anybody else. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow at the 4 a.m. Eastern Time early bird show, and that's 10 o'clock Amsterdam time. Happy trading, and see you tomorrow. And if you want to see what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter. You know what to do.